On Tuesday, we celebrated the funeral of Mary Ann Westfall. Many of you know and cherish Mary Ann. A lot of folks who didn't know her personally knew her from church or knew her from being the office manager of the medical office where her husband Frank was the eye doctor. And many people will never be able to pass by 43 Cunningham without thinking of her, where she raised her family and lived for 50 years. She loved being at home. The house is very much unchanged from the way it looked in 1973 because she loved it when she moved in and she wanted to always remember how much she loved it. She was somebody who had these telltale things that would happen at certain points in the house. Like when her family takes you on a tour, they say, this is the room where Mom lived for 2 years taking care of Dad. She almost never left. His hospital bed was right here, and she slept on this couch. They point to the bench in the kitchen that's right near where there used to be a wall phone with a long cord. And that's where she would stay in touch with her 7 brothers and sisters and the kids and the grandkids. In the backyard is the pool where all the grandkids spent all summer long. She made sure that the freezer was filled with ice cream sandwiches so they wouldn't have any reason to leave. So to go to that house now is so strange because it looks the same. Everything's right where it ought to be. But she died. And she's not there. It's kind of like that feeling we get when we go to someone's wake and we kneel by an open casket. There they are, we say. Look. Sometimes we even say things like, she looks beautiful. But she's not there. It's not the same as it was. So what does that tell us? When you go by a place that felt like the home, the soul hearth of the family, and it feels empty, or you kneel by the open casket and it feels vacant. Many religions teach that our bodies are kind of like a rental car. You pick it up the day that you arrive, and you drive the heck out of it. And by the time you're ready to return it, it's got bugs smashed all over the windshield, filled with crumbs. And you're thinking the whole time that you're driving, please don't let me forget to return it full. I've got to return it full. If I don't hand it back full, I'm going to get in trouble. But then when we get there, we hand over the keys and we leave it. And we fly off to who knows where. Many religions teach that. And it's beautiful in a way. It's what allows them to teach that then you go on to be reincarnated to something else. But we don't believe that. There's a reason why Christians don't believe that. And it's because of what we're celebrating today. We're celebrating that our Mother Mary was taken up to heaven, body and soul. Not like an open casket situation, but she was taken completely. And that's not because she was a divine goddess. She was human. She's our mother, Jesus' human mother. And she's the most faithful human being that ever lived. And so we believe that as the most faithful, she was the first to have her body glorified. It makes sense that you let your mother go first. But the church's teaching about Mary is whatever is true about her is meant to be true for her children. She is the first to go where we are meant to follow. And so we believe in the resurrection of our bodies, not just our souls. We say in our creed that we believe in the resurrection of the body, not just our soul. Our bodies are not just some accident. Some of us like our bodies, others of us don't. Most of us have times when we don't like our body or some aspect of it. But our body is the part of the universe that we've been given by God. Isn't that a wild thought? Like if we were to look through a telescope right now and we were scanning outer space and we got to Mars, well, there it is. We'd say that's the part of the universe that's Mars. When you look at Ben, you see the part of the universe that is Ben. And when you look in a mirror, you go, oh, that's the part of the universe that's me. And this is what helps us to know what it means that we are made in God's image and likeness. This is what it means to say human beings are made in the image of God. It means we're not drops in the ocean. We actually are the ocean in drops. You're not a drop in the ocean. You're in the image of God. You are that ocean in a drop. When I look out at your faces and you look at the faces of the people you see, you're not just seeing random faces of some vast, vague humanity. You're seeing God's image in a person. That's what we celebrate in this feast. So, of course, our mother being the first to be taken bodily and glorified, to have the resurrection of her body be something we know and believe in so strongly. Of course, that is something that helps us to understand life better. Our mother is certainly not a drop in the ocean. In fact, one of her titles is in Latin, Stella Maris. Stella Maris, which means the star of the sea. That star is the part of the universe that we call the Mother of God. And we celebrate that her body is sacred. And we celebrate that we were made in God's image. And that we're the part of the universe that God's image has been stamped on in our unique way. And our bodies are sacred too.